How's it going, guys? This is Zach, and from the Why Would You Think That podcast. We had a little bit of equipment issues during the regular season of the NFL. Equipment's all fixed and ready to go. I'm going to break down Wildcard weekend and give a preview to Divisional weekend. All right, we're going to go in chronological order. We're going to start with the Colts at the Bills on Saturday afternoon. Colts get off to a good start. Almost, it was very reminiscent to me of a little bit of the Steelers game in the regular season with the Colts. Get out, fast start, get their run game going. Jonathan Taylor, you get out 10-7, you get to the goal line again. You're a fingertip catch away from with Michael Pittman Jr. to getting up 17-7, really changing the complexion of the game the rest of the way. You don't get it, so it's 10-7. Josh Allen does a lot of really magical things with his arm, and that's really been the key for them in their passing game all season. It ends up going into late in the second half. It's 24-10 Bills. You get two touchdowns from Phillip Rivers, and I'm dropping my pen again. Uh, and then it gets to be 27-24. And just a little bit deeper of a deep dive. Again, Colts run game gets them to a fast start. Then they get a little too pass happy. I really would have liked to have seen. I'm just gonna put my pen down. Really would have liked to have seen a couple more runs on the goal line on that fourth and goal or fourth and out, basically on the goal line for the Colts. Josh Allen being magical, having to do everything, pass and run. They just can't get their run game going. Zach Moss got hurt. Bills defense a little worrisome considering who they're playing next in the Ravens. The Bills defense really couldn't stop the run, and they kind of got bailed out by the Colts again late in the game, not running the ball enough and trying to get a little too pass happy with Phillip Rivers. So Bills win their first playoff game since 1995. They win 27-24. Let's go Rams at Seahawks. Rams defense shows why they were the number one scoring defense in the regular season. Aaron Donald is just he's not a one-man wrecking crew, but he accounted for 3 sacks, multiple pressures on top of that, causing a bunch of problems, holding penalties, everything. He's just phenomenal. The Rams secondary, who feeds off of that defensive line led by Aaron Donald, got a couple picks. And we really should have seen this coming with Seattle. I mean, I know I wasn't able to talk about this, but after the month of September, the Seattle Seahawks offense really took a step back. They weren't able to throw the ball with any ferocity like they were in September. They tried going back to their old formula, which is run, ground and pound, play defense, except their defense is just awful. And that's even beyond the fact that they were put on the field a lot when they were pass happy in September. I kind of had this notion of, okay, they're throwing the ball over the yard. Their defense is on the field a bunch because of that. That's why the numbers just are pointing towards that. But I was wrong. Even when they were trying to ground and pound, control the ball, play keep away, and then play defense on top of running the football, they just weren't good. Jared Goff steps in after John Wolford gets hurt. He was efficient. He didn't look anywhere near as good as he normally is, but he was able to make a couple timely throws. Rams leaned on their run game and their defense. Almost ironic considering that's how the Seahawks won Super Bowl, almost two, and the Rams used it against them. Let's move to Saturday night. Bucks at Washington. Bucks offense did their job. Leonard Fournette steps into the starting role with Ronald Jones going out with some injury before the game. I think it was a quad injury, if I'm not mistaken, right before the game. I'm probably wrong about that, but I just know Leonard Fournette was able to step up. Bucks offense put up a lot of points. Bucks defense looks suspect. I'm not going to get too panicky. This happens a lot in the NFL with guys who step in out of nowhere. Teams don't have film on them. They don't know what to prepare for. Heineke was very mobile, very live. Was able to make some timely throws. I think he acquitted himself nicely considering the dude was in a math class a couple of weeks ago, getting a playoff start. I think this is a stepping stone for Washington. Washington must get a quarterback, whether that be free agent. I think they have to do it through free agency because bringing along a rookie quarterback through the draft, I think that would take too much time considering the window they have with that front four, with that defense in general, and with some of the weapons they have on offense. I think they must get a quarterback through free agency. I think Tom Brady looked good. He did complete a couple deep balls. I'll give him his props there. He only went 22 of 40. That was a little concerning, a little bit of the inefficiency. But I don't think the offense was the reason for concern. If you had any out of this game, I'd definitely look at the Bucs defense. They've struggled ever since Vita Vea, their big defensive tackle, went down, and I think it was the Bears game early in the season. They have struggled from time to time stopping the run, and that could be really costly against their next opponent. Okay, let's go to the Sunday window. Let's go Ravens at Titans. Titans get the jump. They come out on the script. They get that quick touchdown. They did a lot of quick passes on that first drive, try and catch the Ravens off guard. Lamar throws a brutal pick on the next series. Titans go down, kick 3. So they make it 10-0. Titans would go on to score 3 or get 3 more points the rest of the game. I think the big difference, and this is really kind of next level for most people, but the reason why Derrick Henry wasn't able to get his mojo going was due to the return of Calais Campbell and Brandon Williams, their 2 interior defensive linemen. Derrick Henry does most of his work once he's gotten a step or 2 going. Once he takes that first step or 2, really get his momentum going, break through the defensive line, and really just gash you. He was not able to do that because in the regular season game between these two, Calais Campbell and Brandon Williams were both out. I think that was able to get a couple more creases going. Derrick Henry was able to be far more efficient against the Ravens without those 2 defensive linemen in. I think that was a huge, huge impact. I didn't understand Mike Vrabel not going for it. I think it was like 4th and 2. I think it was like 37 or 30, it was like near what I call no man's land, and they punt it and essentially seal the game. Obviously, Tannehill throws a pick that also ultimately seals it. Really disappointed by the Titans. I thought they could get the W. I viewed them with how efficient their offense was and how Lamar has struggled in the playoffs. I viewed the Titans as being certainly capable of winning this game. And they just did not. Lamar goes crazy, not with his arm, but with his feet, running a bunch, getting the first down to seal the game, getting the magical run for a touchdown. I think it was like 3rd and 15. It was 3rd and long for sure, and he scrambles around, runs for a touchdown. Then they come out in the first drive of the second half and punch it in to give them the 17-10 lead. The game was really never in doubt after that. Titans offense just could not find any traction. So Ravens get the win 20-13. Let's move over to the mid Sunday game. This was probably the least fun to watch. Bears at Saints. Michael Thomas returns. You saw it on the first touchdown that the Saints scored. It was a quick pass from Breeze to Michael Thomas. Where have we seen that before? He gets his return. Saints really just wore down the Bears, running the ball, quick passing game, keep the Bears pass rushers away from Drew Brees. Really, I'm almost certain that the Saints knew that the Bears couldn't get to 17 points. So once they hit that 14 or once they got to the 21, should have had 28. That was a ridiculous call on the QB sneak that he didn't cross the goal line. Bears don't score a touchdown to the last snap of the game. They only produced 239 yards of total offense. Just completely embarrassing. I don't understand how you bring back Mitch Trubisky, Matt Nagy, or Ryan Pace, the GM. But Pace and Nagy look to be returning. I don't understand it. I certainly don't understand how you bring back Mitch Trubisky. Just an awful showing by the Bears. Bears defense did try their hearts out, but when you're on the field almost all day long, you just can't do it. Let's turn to the Sunday night game, which was probably arguably the most entertaining game of the Super Wildcard weekend. Browns jump the Steelers. Turnovers allow the Browns to jump the Steelers 28-0 in the first quarter. Browns run game, quick passing game. They come out. They do, and here's the thing that I don't think gets talked about enough. Sure, you get the turnovers, but once you get those turnovers, you have to capitalize on them. There was a couple of turnovers where I see this so often. You get a turnover and then you go 3 and out, or you get a turnover deep in territory and you only get 3 points. No, they would take those turnovers and ensure that they got 7 each or 6 each time. Obviously, the first one was a given 6 on the bad snap by Pouncey into the end zone. Browns run game, quick passing game. Baker Mayfield, if you want to see what a quarterback, the closest thing to a quarterback to a point guard was, that was Baker Mayfield on Sunday night. I'm going to take the snap and I'm going to get the ball to my guys quickly and efficiently. The touchdown to Jarvis Landry early in the game, snap, hike, snap, quick throw. And then Jarvis does some of his best work, run after catch. You saw they were able to run the ball on the goal line with a bunch of efficiency with Kareem Hunt, just bulldozes his way in, carrying 2 or 3 Steelers. Really, really good stuff. Big Ben, I mean, he's looked old and predictable with the quick passing game they like to do. They don't attack vertically enough, and that showed. Throws 4 picks. Nick Chubb gets the game-sealing screen. I think it was a really, really good call. The Steelers had just blitzed on the play before Baker was able to throw a dart to Jarvis for a first down. They see that the Steelers are bringing up the blitz again. They throw a screen into the blitz, and 80% of the time when you throw screens into whether it be man or zone blitzes, it does not matter. You are going to get a lot of yards, and he took it to the house after J.C. Tretter got a huge block on the last linebacker who was in the play and just opened up the whole thing for him. I think this is certainly a good point for Kevin Stefanski in the Coach of the Year conversation, considering obviously everyone's talked about how he wasn't there at the game. They were missing some other coaches. They were missing their guard, Joel Bitonio, the 3-time Pro Bowl guard. But what I really think it shows is their offensive script. Obviously, the defense did their work. They got some turnovers. But just being able to execute the game plan that they've basically done for most of the year, do it with such high efficiency. They don't commit penalties at all compared to last year. They were I think the highest penalized team last year. They come out, they run the ball, they throw quick passes. They know how to exploit the other team's weaknesses. And this is, I thought, and I knew the game really wasn't in doubt, but when it got to 12 points, I'm like, okay, how do you respond now? And they were able to do it time and again. They kept putting up points, and even though the defense got turnovers, their defense is really suspect to giving up tons of yards, tons of points. They kept scoring, and Browns get their first playoff win in over 20 years. So, good on the Browns. I do root for the Browns, considering here in Detroit, the Lions are equally as futile. I guess not anymore. I really started following the Browns after the draft of Baker Mayfield, and he looked very good at the end of his rookie season. They won some games, and they've kind of been my secondary team. So those are my thoughts on Wildcard Weekend. Interestingly enough, 3 of the members of the 2018 quarterback draft, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Baker Mayfield, all got their first playoff wins. Just fun fact I was thinking of and prepping for this. Let's move on to Divisional Round. I'm going to give some my opinion of how they will go, some things to look for, and we'll give some predictions, and then we'll see how it goes this weekend. So, at time of taping, the status of Aaron Donald isn't really certain. I believe he will play. And I am talking about Rams at Packers. We're going to go chronological order again. This is the Saturday window. Aaron Donald I believe he will play. I don't think he'll be 100%. If he was 100%, I think the Rams would be completely live in winning this game, because Aaron Donald gives you a far better chance of winning when he's playing at a high level. He is just a bulldozer monster. One thing to look out for, I'm very interested to see if they put Jalen Ramsey one-on-one with Devontae Adams. I'm interested to see if that's an island matchup and who wins it. I think it will be very telling if the Packers are able to run the ball, if they're able to set up some stuff with Adams, with the other weapons. Another key thing to look for, not just the Packers run game, but the Rams run game, they did well against the Seahawks, but they are going to need to be exceptional against the Pack and helping Jared Goff, who is obviously not 100%. He made some timely throws in the wild card game, but he will need a lot of help. And I'm very excited to see the Packers' high-scoring offense versus the Rams' number 1 scoring defense. Very, very exciting. Really interested to watch it. Very interested to see Aaron Donald's status. And I think this will be a key time for the other Packers weapons to step up because Ramsey has been excellent this year, like Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I think A.J. Dillon is going to need to step up with Aaron Jones. Robert Tonyan, the tight end. I think they will all need to step up, and I think they will. I think the Packers will win by 10. I got them winning 27-17. I think they're able to run the ball enough to set up some one-on-one shots, take advantage, and just be able to kind of keep the Rams at arm's length. Considering the Rams are going to be limited in the passing game. All right, let's move on to Ravens at Bills. I think the Ravens are super live in this game. I think so. Here's the deal: each team does the opposite thing better, and what I mean by that is Ravens are able to run the ball with Dobbins, with Lamar, with Gus Edwards, really, really well. Bills, not so much. Can't run the ball with any effectiveness other than Josh Allen for the most part. On the flip side, Bills have a prolific passing attack. Ravens, not so much. That's what Lamar has struggled with in big time spots against big time defenses. Thankfully, the Bills can't stop the run, so that kind of plays into the Ravens' hands. Ravens' pass defense isn't great. It's not bad. It's kind of middle of the pack. I think it will definitely suffer a little bit against the passing attack of the Bills. I think they'll be able to take advantage a little bit. I do view this as a very low-scoring game, considering, Ravens' run game. I think the Bills are really actually going to try and run the football a little bit. Other than Josh Allen, it will be tough against that Ravens front, who is so effective against Derrick Henry. So you got to battle strength or opposite weakness against weakness, if you will, or strength against weakness. Sorry. So you got Ravens run game against Bills run defense. I think Ravens win it. I think Ravens win it outright. I got Ravens 21-17. Again, low scoring. I think you'll see a lot of clock control by the Ravens. Even though their defense is really good, I still don't think they want to set themselves to be, put against Josh Allen all day long. I got Ravens winning it outright. Browns at Chiefs. This is the afternoon Sunday game. I think Browns will attempt to play keep away with their run game. I don't think they will be scared to air it out and keep scoring. I think the way you have to beat Kansas City is you have to outscore them. I think, as silly as this sounds, I think they will try and play keep away and try and outscore the Chiefs. I don't think it's going to work, but I view that as their attempt to do this. I think they will run the ball and not be afraid to take shots and air it out when necessary. I think the score will be really close at halftime. I think the Browns will keep it respectable for a half. I think Chiefs are excellent when they have a bye under Andy Reid. I just view the Browns having some momentum, some confidence. They'll keep it close for a half. But one thing that doesn't get talked about enough is how bad the Browns defense really is. Yes, they got a bunch of turnovers, but in the regular season and even in the wildcard game, I don't think they were in prevent. I think they were just that bad. They give up tons of yards, tons of points. Yes, with Olivier Vernon out, that hurts them a lot. Yes, Myles Garrett is an absolute superstar, but he can't make up for all the deficiencies behind him. I think Chiefs' firepower will just outwill the Browns, and I think the Chiefs will pull away late. I think they'll get a late score to put them up by 2 scores. I think the final score will be Chiefs 38, Browns 24. I'm really interested to watch it. Again, as I kind of root silently for the Browns, I think this will be a very fun game to watch. Lots of points, and just can't wait to watch it. All right, Sunday night. Bucks at Saints. Sorry, I thought I heard something. Bucks at Saints. Obviously, Michael Thomas came back last week. The Bucks get Devin White back this week. I think Bucks offense won't have a ton of problems scoring a good amount of points. The key thing is Ronald Jones versus Leonard Fournette. You didn't see a huge difference. I think Leonard Fournette may have acquitted himself very well against the Washington football team. One thing I do view the Saints must run the football. The Bucks have struggled a little bit. I talked about it a little bit earlier with Vita Vea, their defensive tackle, going down early in the season. I think the Saints must run the ball, get the ball out of Drew Brees' hands quickly, as the Bucks pass rush has really turned it up later in the season. I don't really have a great read on this. I'll be totally honest. Like I feel more confident about my predictions for the other games than I do this one. I just find this to be very interesting. Again, it's hard for a team to beat another team 3 times in a row, which is what the Saints are attempting to do. I do have the Saints winning. I think it will be 30 to 23. I think Kamara and Latavius Murray are going to be huge factors. I think they will be able to be effective enough. I think Breeze will be able to get his hands out of his hand, the ball out of his hands quick enough, make some plays, try and keep Tom Brady on the sideline a little bit, and I think the Saints will win. Again, not confident about it, but that's just how I view it. So, again, if you I love having dialogue in the comment section. If you guys disagree, agree, think I'm crazy, which is totally okay. I love being called out, or not called out, but having discussions about this sports and that kind of stuff. Please comment below if you liked what you hear. Please like the video. It helps with the algorithm of YouTube. And please, if you haven't already and you're just tuning in for the first time and you want to hear more, now that the equipment's back and up and running, I'm going to do a lot more recording as the playoffs go, and we'll see how it goes with basketball later in the year. So thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, do whatever you got to do. And this is the Why Would You Think That podcast.